So I was talking to one of my younger coworkers yesterday. He's only 19 years old. And in a way, he was complaining about how in the future, we will own nothing and we will like it. So he's 19, and he was telling me that in his lifetime, more than likely, he won't be able to buy his own home or buy a new car. And I'm thinking to myself, man, you're only 19 and you already gave up. And it's crazy because I think back and I remember when I was 19 years old and I was pretty much in the same spot he was. Not that I thought I was never going to be able to own a home or a brand new car, but I was in his situation where I was living my life to the fullest. For you see, as we're having this conversation, I see that he has the newest iPhone, has some beautiful Carhartt boots. I mean, these boots we're talking about $150. He's got the nice Ray-Bans. He's got the nice hat. I mean, this guy's pimped out. Last week, he was telling me about how he went on vacation to Mexico for a few weeks last month. He was telling me about how he's going to go see the World Cup and how he already bought tickets to Guadalajara to watch the game. And as he's going on and on about all the things that he's buying and he's doing along with his girlfriend, I'm thinking, no wonder you gave up, man. I mean, you're spending your money on all these different things, and yet the important things in life, like ownership of a home or a car or assets or anything, is pretty much out the window because right now you're in the mode of having fun, which I understand. He's only 19. I mean, if I could go back in time, I'd be able to change some things, but even if I went back in time, man, I'd still be 19. I'd still be dumb, right? Because right now he's in the best time of his life physically because he can work 2, 3 jobs. He can study, he can go play soccer, he can do whatever he wants. And the next day he'll wake up and if he will feel nothing. But mentally up here, he hasn't lived life yet. He hasn't gone through all the things that us 40 plus old people have gone through. So he doesn't understand how the game works. He doesn't understand that the game's rigged, man. The rules have already been made. And unless you break the rules and you play by your own rules, you will never be successful in this life. As long as you keep playing by their rules, you're going to be poor, man, because that's how the system, the government, whatever you want to call it, that's how they want you. They want you ignorant, stupid, dumb, and poor. And I understand that the American dream is a lie at the end of the day. I know that it was made to keep us controlled, to keep us in debt, to keep us with a burden. Because at the end of the day, that's what the American dream is. I mean, a home, 2 cars, 2 to 3 kids, a wife. Most of those things are material things. A home, a car is going to require a lot of maintenance. It's going to require insurance. It's going to require taxes. All the things that the government loves to get from you. And I was talking to him, and I understand where he's coming from. I mean, Gen Z is going to have a really hard time having ownership over anything. We will be living in a future society where everything is either rented or a subscription. I mean, we're seeing that with Tesla cars where now you have to be subscribed to use certain things in the car, to use certain features. It's getting harder and harder to be able to buy a home. So most of the people in the future are going to be renters. And one thing I have heard from the younger generation is that why even try? So as I'm talking to him, he's complaining about how hard it is to have any kind of ownership of anything in America. But I'm looking at his habits and all the choices that he's making in his life, and it's like, buddy, that's why. Because all the money that you make and your girlfriend make goes out the window just like that. And as I put myself in his position, I completely understand that, because when I was 19, I was doing the same thing. And like everybody in my situation, I wish I could go back in time and be able to make the right choices so that where I'm at right now could be a way better position. Because right now, I'm in a position where I have to work 3 jobs. And if you tack on YouTube, that would be a 4th job. And I see it as a job because it requires a lot of time, a lot of planning. It's a job. So let's just say I'm working 4 jobs, even though one of them is not paying anything right now. But I'm working those 4 jobs so I can succeed in life. Because 1 job, maybe 2 jobs, I'll be able to survive. But if I want to succeed, if I want to have anything in this life, if I want to pay off my home, if I want to pay off my cars, if I want a future where I'm able to buy assets that will grow and make me income, if I want any kind of leverage in my future, I'm going to have to sacrifice. And unfortunately, I learned that a little late. I was 40 years old when I started changing my life, when I started reading all these books, and I finally started sacrificing all the things like my younger coworkers doing right now in order for me to have a great retirement. Because one thing that I don't want to do when I retire is be one of those Walmart greeters that are checking your receipts out the door. And I've had conversations with these guys. I like to talk, man. And I've asked a few of them, it's like, hey, man, so you came back, you got bored when you were retired? Like, what's going on, man? What's up? And out of the 10 people that I've talked to, 9 out of 10 came back because their Social Security wasn't enough for them to sustain their life. And I swore that was not going to be me, man. The biggest sacrifice I made, I believe, was I stopped buying crap. For you see, when you die, you're not going to take anything with you, right? All these things, all these nice things, they're going to stay behind. You're not taking anything. You might be able to leave them to your kids, your nephews. I mean, who knows? You're not going to take anything, man. So as we continue talking, he was telling me that we are going to be a renter subscription society in the future. And as we talked about it, we came to the agreement that that is true. In the future, the generation that's coming up won't be able to own anything. But at the end of the day, I was thinking about it. I mean, that's not such a bad thing if you see it in the right way. Like, for example, right? One of the things I remember was I used to buy all these CDs and DVDs, and I would have them just all over the place. It was a mess. They would take up all this space. I had to clean them, I had to organize them. And now everything is in your phone. You can listen to any song you want. You can go and watch any movie you want. So for a minimalist, that is heaven right there. So in reality, I would rather do that than have all these things hanging around my house. One of the things that I understood kind of late, now that I have my home and I'm getting ready to pay it off, is that a home is also known as a money pit. A lot of money, and I mean a lot of money goes into maintaining your home. Now, if I could go back in time, I wouldn't buy a home. I would rent. You see, when you rent, all the maintenance, all the bills, all those things go on the owner of the home, not on me. I would be renting, and all that money that I would be saving over time, we're talking about maintenance, we're talking about property taxes, we're talking about escrow, we're talking about insurance. God knows how many things that could happen to your house, but all that money, I would be able to save it and invest it, whether I do it in the stock market. And I personally would have started investing in rentals, property rentals, right? And who knows, by now, maybe I would have had 5 or 10 and I would still be renting. But that's something I didn't understand when I was younger. When I was younger, I wanted the American dream just like every single one of us, man. They sell you that lie that, you know, the home, the cars, the kids, and everything, and you think that this is the only way. But one of the things I understood when I started reading all these books is that there is more than one way to do things. There's more than one way to get rich. And unfortunately, they don't teach us that. I mean, my parents didn't teach me that. My school didn't teach me that. The people around me didn't teach me that. I mean, at the end of the day, you're a product of your environment. And I had a pretty poor environment. Another thing that I learned late is ownership of cars. Because at the end of the day, a car is pretty much the same thing as a home. The only difference is that your home, at least your home's going up in price, right? I mean, you might buy it for $300. As the years go down the road, it's going to go up in price, right? As far as your car, when you buy your car, as soon as you drive it off that lot, you're losing money, man. And not only that, you're making the payments, you're paying the insurance, you're paying your registration, and you're also paying the maintenance on that car. You're paying tires, transmission goes out, you got to pay that, window brakes, you got to pay that, you got to pay everything. So then that becomes a money pit too. If I could go back and do things now, I would lease a car. But you see, when you lease it, especially in my situation where I live in a small town, I'm not really driving that much, man. So I'm not going over my miles. And if I did, crap, I'd pay that off too. Who cares? But the thing is, all that maintenance that comes with the car, that's not on you. And let's say like in 5-10 years, I don't know how the lease thing works, but let's say, for example, 5 years, right? I give that car back, all those miles, all that stuff that I put in there, it is no longer my problem. Because when it's your car, the older it gets, the more money you're going to put into it. And then some people make the mistake of going and getting another more newer car, and then you start the whole thing all over again. So I would just go back and lease it. I would pay whatever I needed to pay, use it, rent it, whatever you want to say it is, but I would give it back. And then I would have the option of leasing another car. Because one of the things that has happened, and I've noticed with some of my friends, is they'll keep their cars for a really long time. And that's a smart idea in the sense that it is your car. You don't have to make the payments. And as the car gets older, your insurance goes down and everything. But there's been a few times now where those cars become dinosaurs. They no longer can get the parts for their cars. They no longer can find them. And then the car kind of becomes obsolete. One of the most important changes I made in my life was to stop buying crap that's not going to make me money. Stop buying things that would depreciate, things that are going to need maintenance. And I started buying things that are going to make me money, that are going to appreciate. It's an asset. It's something that's going to give me back money, that's going to make me money while I'm sleeping. And that's one of the biggest paradigm shifts that I made in my life. Look at this beautiful view, guys. Just remember, man, you only get one shot at life. But if you live it right, once is enough. Get out there every day. Do something fun. Do something new. Live your life like it's an adventure. Get out of the rut, man. Stop doing the same thing every day. Find new meaning in this thing called life. Because at the end of the day, you're not taking anything with you anyway. So might as well have some fun.